Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. It's a time that we can relax and craft together for about an hour. And I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. And just come in to hang out and chit chat as well. So thank you guys for popping in. I see you guys coming in now. We are continuing this week on the Granny Squares quilt. It is by Lissa Alexander, and it was done for the magazine American Patchwork and Quilting. So it is so adorable. It mimics a granny square crocheted afghan, so it kind of has that same look to it. And we are at the stage, we're at the very early stage. This is day 3 of this project. We've picked the colors and we've started cutting like our main color fabric, and we are still cutting that fabric today. But I put my True Grip stickers on the bottom of my ruler here so it doesn't move around. I got a brand new blade on today. It was not working very well last night, so we should be just cruising tonight. We have been storing everything in plastic bags, so this is strips for sashing. There's 8 of those. I've been storing every single part in a different bag, and I'll reuse these bags for another project later. But I got new ones for this one just because I knew there were going to be a lot of pieces for this project. So we're just going through and I'm cutting. I'm hoping we can finish cutting that background teal color. So anywhere that you see brown in here, like the brown in the middle, like that's framing these squares, that's all going to be teal in my quilt, which will make it just like a bright jewel-toned quilt, I think, when we're done here. But I'm hoping we can get all the teal cut today. So we've been going through the checklist, getting it done. We have, I think, 5 or so more cuts to do. These next cuts, we are going to have to cut the width of the fabric, and then we're going to have to turn those pieces and cut them shorter. So we need shorter rectangles for this next part. What we did yesterday, we just needed the long strips, and now we need the smaller bits. So there'll be a little bit more cutting today. But if we get that done today, that means tomorrow we can start cutting all the fun assorted fabrics that will be for the squares of this, and I'm excited for that. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around, and we'll get going on this. Thanks again for joining me here tonight, everyone. Hello, Doris. Hey, Amity. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks, everyone, for popping in tonight. I am so excited for this project. So again, I just want to show you guys the full finished photograph of it. So this is what it's going to look like when we're done. However, like I said, anywhere there's brown, like all this brown background, that's going to be this crazy bright teal. I think it's just gonna pop. I think it's gonna be really fun when we're done here. So I am, someone's mentioning the Splendid Sampler 2. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to be working on this project, the Granny Squares quilt, for the first week of the month, the first full week of the month. And then the second full week of the month, I will be working on the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt-along, which we're about just shy of halfway done, I think. And then the third full week, we'll be working on the new embroidery of the month, Penguin and Fish embroidery of the month. And this month it's that mandala love. We are going to stitch it onto a tea towel. So I'm kind of like a tea towel, a kitchen towel. I'm pretty stoked about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then the last week we will be working on the quilt-along for Aurifil, the Aurifil block of the month. Colors of Italy is that theme. So that will be starting, I think the 15th is when the first block is going to kick in. I know, it's not ironed, for sure. I'll probably iron it right before I start using it. I don't think ironing it now is going to gain me so much. Like, it's not so off. However, when I start cutting some of these off pieces, I may iron those depending on the condition. But this, I think, will be fine. Everything's gonna get ironed when it's pressed and stuff, or when it's assembled. All right, let's take a look at this. Here is where we left off. We are cutting. We're cutting the brown tone on tone, which for me is teal. So we've gotten done with all of the 42-inch strips. That's just one cut. A bolt is folded in half, and it ends up being, when you unfold it, it's about that 42 inches. So that's what they're referring to, just the width of the fabric with that 42. Okay, this next one, we need, 39-inch sashing pieces that are 2 inches wide. Let's do some math here. Ooh, did I even bring a calculator? Oh my god, I don't know if I can do actual math in my head, so you guys are going to have to help me when it's late. When it's late, then that goes downhill really quick. So 9 inches, so this is about 42 inches. So 36, what is that, 4? So we'll be able to get 4 cuts of 9, because the next time up would be 45, and that's too long. Okay, so we should get 4 cuts of 9 out of each of these. We're gonna have a lot of excess, but that's okay. So, so 4 cuts, and we need 30. Okay, what's 30 divided by 4? We need that many. So, let's see, 4 times 8 is 24. The 9 is 28 again. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just can't. We are going to have to just count as we go. You have trouble? All hours on math? Funny, Dawn. Yeah, like literally, like this time of night, it just goes. It just leaves me. That and a whole lot of words. So 7 something. Oh yeah, 7 times 4. That's 28. So we'll need 7.5 strips. So we're actually going to have quite a bit extra because, we're really going to have a lot extra. I'm wondering if we can cut some of our other pieces out of all our scraps. I think we probably can. So these are the only ones that are 2 inches. So the other ones are all 1 3/4. So we can shave a bit off of the scraps and then use those. So, all right, so I will cut, thanks you guys, I seriously needed that math help. So we'll cut 8. We'll have a lot of extras, but we'll be able to use those extras. So let's start there. So 8, let's get my cutting glove on. Ooh, Gretchen, that's so fun. Oh, you round off in your checkbook, Don. Oh my gosh, that would freak me out. All right, okay, so I need 8. Okay, 8 2-inch. Yep, just double checking. Like I said last night, this is where I freak out the most. I was good at math in school, by the way. Just saying. It's just that late night in your head calculations that can't deal with. All right, so here's a new blade. So this should just go through like nothing without hardly any pressure. Like I'm not forcefully pressing. If I veer, I'll be able to stop. It's not gonna like cut my finger off or whatever. And yeah, perfect cut. So new blade. If your blade is catching at all, or you have like a little nick out of it, if you have a little nick out of it, then you'll have you'll do a cut and there'll be just like one little thread hanging on. That means you have a nick somewhere in the blade. What do you guys think? I have tried. Yeah, great to have math helpers. I have tried sharpening blades before, but I haven't really had all that much luck. Do any of you guys sharpen your rotary cutter blades? Because I got like a lot. A lot of dead or dead enough blades that, man, if they could become usable again, that would be pretty amazing. I had a manual sharpener where you just kept going through it, and I don't know. I don't think it did a thing. So nope. You haven't had, Tracy. You haven't had any luck. Yeah. I know people like those the mechanical ones. But yeah, just get new. That's what I've been doing. Well, and on a second note, what do you guys do with all your old blades? Like, I seriously have. I keep the case that they come in, and I write old on the case, and then I put all my old blades in the case, and then I know that those are old ones. What do you do with them all? Like, do you... Okay, that's a two-part question, too. Do you use them for something? And if not, how are you disposing of them? Oh, try turning them over. Yeah, someone... Oops, gosh, look, I'm already... Hopefully I don't already have a nick in here. Maybe I just wasn't paying it close enough attention. But yeah, someone mentioned turning them over. I do have some other dull ones, and I think with those I'll try turning them over, but I wanted to make sure to get at least one nice new blade hopping. Oh, my mom says use for cutting paper. So I have done that. Oh, I should have one dedicated to paper, maybe. Maybe I should write paper right on it so I don't accidentally switch it to like a nice new blade. Yeah, I got enough rotary cutters around that maybe I should make one for paper. It is kind of nice to use for paper. Gosh, I think I already might have a nick out of here. Well, that's annoying. I would never do this without my gloves on. I'm just kind of seeing what's going on here. I don't see it, but whatever. Oh, you're collecting dull ones too, Barbara. Yeah, I wonder. I haven't... I've seen like those little electric sharpeners. I haven't heard about, a service to do that. That's kind of neat. I wonder how well that works. Because, they're not the cheapest things. Oh, recycle them and send them back to the manufacturer. Oh, that'd be worth looking into. Oh, I like that idea. Huh. I'll have to look into that. I have enough of them, that's for sure. Oh, Nolene says that turning the blade works. That worked for her. Oh, that's... I'm going to give that a go with the other two. So we tried 3 of them last night. Oh, I could cut... Linda's asking, why don't I cut from one side or the other side with one ruler? You know what? I really could. The reason I haven't been is because to do that, when I first start cutting, I cut one edge to get the edge really nice and clean, and it makes me nervous turning everything so then I can cut the other direction, because then I will lose, like that edge won't be matched up anymore in theory. So instead of rotating all my stuff once I have this nice edge, I've been doing the double ruler method. However, once we start cross-cutting these into smaller things, I will be just rotating my whole cutting mat. I do think it's easier to have it rotated, so I just have to do one cut. That'll make more sense, I think, when we get to that. Oh, you think, Joseph says, I think your cutting board can cause a skip too. On Alpha's website, they tell more how to clean your board or rejuvenate it. Oh, that's could very likely be the case. I had this particular board for quite a while. I do try and move around when I'm cutting a lot of the same stuff so the cuts go in different spots, but, that doesn't always work. I need one more, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so here's the 8th one. we're going to cross cut these next. And cross cutting means we're just going to rotate them 90 degrees and cut them the other direction so we can get the exact size that we need. And since we have a new blade, we should be able to stack most of these together, so it should be pretty slick doing the cross cutting. All right, there we are. That's our 8. So again, we need 30 9-inch pieces. So I'm going to just shush this away for now. And actually right now I'm going to rotate this. Okay, so I think the plan for this is I'm going to trim off these little selvage bits. That's where the fabric machines pull the fabric up. So you'll see like these little dots, that's where the machine's pulling. They're actually woven a little bit tighter, which can affect how it sews and stuff. So I'm going to cut those off. And then I think we're going to measure our 9 inches from this side. And then we'll do another 9 inches. Oh wait, we'll get 2 9 inches out of here. And that way we will have a bigger piece at the end because the fold is here. So we can flip that open and then trim it in case we can get some of our smaller pieces. Like right here, we need 12 1 3/4 by 1.5 rectangles. We might be able to get a lot of those right now out of like my excess from here. Especially that one. We need to remember that I can pull one of these away because we only needed 7.5, not all 8. So all right, I think the first thing I'm going to do is, since like I said, I do have a new blade on here, I'm going to stack a bunch of these on top of each other. So let's just scooch down here first, so it's closer to me. I'm going to cut. Okay, so I'm going to cut along one of these rule lines here. So I want to make sure that all those dots from the selvage are on the cutaway side of the line. So I'm going to go on this line here. And then I want to make sure that this edge is nice along one of the rule lines. That's going to just keep things as square as I can. And I think I'm going to stack 2 more on here. So that'll be 6 layers of fabric, which is kind of a lot. But we do have that fancy new blade. I should be able to do it. I should probably actually be able to do 4 to make like 8, but maybe that's pushing it. We'll do 3. Okay, those are 3, which is 6 layers of fabric. Oh, yep, done. It's good to get those other projects just done and out of the way. That'll feel good to get that other quilt done before working on this. Oh, your fabric comes on Friday. Fun. Yes, I'm excited to see what you guys are using, what fabric you'll be using for this project, and really the other projects we're working on too. Be sure to post in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group whatever you're working on. I'd love to see. So if something's not completely lined up, I don't know if you can tell, but the top layer is a little off. I call it kitty scratching. So like you're rubbing the neck of a kitty, I just kind of scratch the top, and that will just move the top layer down a little bit. So do some kitty scratching. You just need to move the fabric just a little. So this is fiddly too, but you know, it's all part of the process here. All right, 1. All right, this doesn't make sense. Did I only lay down 2 here? Okay. I'm like, how could I lay down 3 here? That would mean 9 pieces, and I only cut 8. So we'll put it here. So here are all 8 of our pieces. And again, I'm going to remove 1 after our first cut because we only need the 7 or the 7.5 really. So all right, ooh, get my glove on. Trying to make that a habit. It's clumsy. It's weird to have on, but I do like knowing that I'll have that protection, and I do like the grips to hold the ruler. That's kind of nice. All right, get those selvages off. Oh yeah, easy peasy. Ah, new blade is worth it. Okay. So 9 inches. Oh, I'm tempted to just use the cutting board rulers. I usually do that, but we'll use an actual ruler. Let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In theory, it's a hair more accurate to use a ruler versus the versus just the cutting board, but I have a feeling that I'll start using the cutting board real quick here again. Okay, so that was the first cut. Now, in theory, I should be able to take one of these away, and I'll use that for the next pieces. So here we should have 6 and 6 and 4. All right. So that should be 16. I think there's 4 there, right? Yeah, because we had 2 layers. 16, yeah, and then I took one away. So we should have 6 and 6 and then 2, which is another 6. So yeah, all right, this will work out. Again, math, so late. We will have our 30, and then we'll have this stuff as extra that we will use to cut some of our other strips out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I get paranoid with rulers too. I have to count out all the inches. It's so dumb. Especially this late at night. All right, shimmy this down a little bit. The ruler's getting in the way. Okay. Oh, yes, that cut's great. All right, so before I get too far, I'm going to get all of these out of the way. These are our 30. Let's get them in a baggie and in the storage. Okay. I'm trying to keep track of things as best I can. So these are sashing rectangles. Okay, and there are 30. Great. All right. Woohoo! One step done. Yeah, those will fit down there. So we did get some scraps. We have that scrap and we have the other half here. I think we can get maybe the last little bit out of here. So I might jump to the bottom of the instructions here for cutting for the teal, just because I think these pieces, we might be able to get everything we need out of here. So then we won't be wasting these pieces. Okay, setting that aside. So here's what I mean. First of all, let's mark that off. Again, trying to stay organized here. So we have that done. So here's what I'm thinking. Like, we'll jump down. The next bits are all 1 3/4. Like here, I want to jump down and make these. Like, I only need 12 little rectangles, and I'm hoping I can get quite a bit from here, I'm thinking. So let's start with these little ones. So these need to be 1 3/4. So I'm gonna let's open all these. I suppose we don't need to. Let's just leave them unopened for right now. I'm gonna line them all up as best I can. Actually, that's quite a few on top of each other. We'll do that many. All right, now I'm gonna do 1 3/4. So we need to make these skinnier is what's going on right now. So I'll have a little scrap, but not too much. Hey, Aaliyah. All right, 1 1 3/4. Okay. All right. And actually, I think I can turn these and cross cut them right away. So the fold is on this side, but I think we're pretty squared up here, like good enough. We're good enough. How about that? We're good enough. All right, so I need 12 1.5 inch. So I don't actually know how many I have layered here. I can't quite get another 1.5 out of there, I don't think. All right, yeah, these aren't quite big enough. Oh, but I can unfold them yet, so I don't know how many are in here, so let's count quick. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy cow, that got us halfway there already. Dang, we have a lot more. Man, I'm glad I just didn't toss these scraps. They're going a long way, really. You know, these are going to have this big old fold in them, but I just want to use it all up, so... Oh, no. I'd have to iron that. Let's just keep cutting with these. That's 2 layers. 2... Oop, let's do with the other side. 2, 4... 6, and that's extra. I only need 12. Wow, I thought I'd have to cut into that strip too, so glad I don't have to do that. Okay. I wonder what these are for. It just says rectangles. That's fine, I suppose. Move around just a hair. Okay. All right, so that should be our 12. Just to double check. 2, 4, 6. Yep. All right, so. Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't cut these down. Like, why does this look different? I didn't cut these down to the 1 3/4. These are still 2 inches. Like, why does that look weird? There we go, let's trim. Forgot a part. There we go. Now we're good. Ooh, that got shimmied a little bit, but I'm sure we'll be fine. All right, there. That's our 12. Gosh, I wonder if I have some smaller bags. I don't need a huge gallon bag for that. And I do. All right. I got some... Ooh, I even have smaller bags. There. This is what I want, a little sandwich bag. Or not even, this is a snack bag. Sharpie. Okay, this just says rectangles. I'm going to just call it what it is. It's 12 1 3/4 by 1.5 rectangles. There, that'll do. Oh, Robin, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that. Another way to use old blades. Yeah, those rotary cutter blades, I mean, they're dangerous fellers, that's for sure. So I'd be a little scared retrofitting them for something. Haha, so we got this one done now too, so that was a nice little deal that we got trimmed. Oof, now we got a whole pile of them. So, okay, so let's do some math. We need to figure out how many strips we're going to need for these. So this for sure, we're only going to be able to get 1 out of. So we're going to need 36 strips to get 35-inch strips. But we're going to have a lot left over. We're going to have like at least 5 inches left over. So we should be able to shimmy a lot of those over to here. You know what? I think let's just start cutting these. We'll cut 36 of these 35-inch strips, and then we'll start cross-cutting them, and we need 148 squares, so we'll just start adding that up. And these we can use for that as well. So I'm going to put these guys to the side. I think we can still use those. But yeah, we're going to start with the big one that we can't trim down from something else, and that's going to give us more stuff that we can use to trim down. So we're not cutting all fresh stuff. Oh, I missed. Are you guys talking about the link to this quilt? If you're just popping in, we are working on the Granny Squares quilt. I am cutting out all the pieces for the background. Instead of this brown, I'm using this bright, crazy teal. It's going to give it such a different look. I'm curious what that's going to be like. I'm going to just, we kind of caught up to where I unraveled here, so I'm going to unravel a bunch more. I might need to get a new straight edge here. So based on that, I've been kind of using up some of these other strips. Maybe I will have enough fabric here, although, we need a lot of these next upcoming things. So, oh, I always underestimate how long this cutting takes. So in my head, I'm just thinking, oh, we got all those big strips done. Now we just have all the little ones. But what I'm realizing now that all those little ones, there's a bajillion of them that we need. It's not just cut 7 strips. We're going to cut 36 strips right now. And I'm going to get a new clean edge because I've been moving the fabric around a little bit, so my edge here isn't perfectly lined up anymore. So I'm going to get a fresh edge. Okay, so I'm going to need 36 of these. Gosh, we will be working on this this tomorrow for sure yet. Oh, this teal. I always underestimate how long cutting takes. I don't know. Is there anything with a quilt that you guys feel that way with? For me, always cutting and pressing. In my head, cutting and pressing is just something you do really quick and it's done, and it's not even part of the process. It's just you do that quick before moving on to the next thing, and that's that. But that is not that. This is definitely a huge chunk of the process. I better check this measurement again. Yeah. 1 3/4. So I need to cut 36 of these. That's quite a bit. So we will just be chilling here for a little while. Oh, I have a new, very nice TV show that I've been watching, you guys. It's reminiscent of the Great British Baking Show, just a little bit. It has that same vibe. Let me know if any of you have been watching it, but it's called The Repair Shop. And it's another British show. And it's just like this little repair shop that's obviously cast. They found a cool place to have a workshop, and then they cast people who do stuff and then have people come in. But they repair various antique stuff. So an old cuckoo clock, or even an old teddy bear, or old ceramics. They will restore them, and it is so fascinating, and I just love it. Just people working on these objects to keep them alive still. I just really, really love it. So let me know if any of you guys... Yes, it's on Netflix. It's called The Repair Shop. It's just such a sweet show. Just people who care about other people and everyone's nice, and I just love it so far. I think there's 2 seasons on Netflix, and I think we just finished the first season. I'm actually a little surprised that they haven't repaired a quilt on it. So spoiler, they have not repaired a quilt. That seems like it would be up the alley of this show. Like someone bringing in a totally torn up quilt and having it repaired. But it's also kind of heartbreaking. So it's like, you know, like for a teddy bear, for example, it's like, this teddy bear was my great-great-grandmother's, and she got it when she was born, and so it's like 120 years old, this teddy bear, and it survived like all the girls down the generations, but then the puppy got it, and you know, tore it up. So it's just so, like, it hurts when, like, the one thing, like something that could last that long, and then also like a dog just bites into it. Ugh. Or like the little kids who, you know, poke pencils through a like $10,000 painting. Like, it's just ridiculous. So then they have like the painting restorer person there. Anyway, new show. I'm digging it. New to me show. It's probably not new. Oh, it's called, Jennifer, it's called The Repair Shop, and it's on Netflix. I think it's a British, well, I know it's a British show. So it's probably on some actual station, and it's probably seasons ahead of where I'm at, but on Netflix, it's got 2 seasons, and it's just a sweet show. It's got the feel of the Great British Baking Show. That's been my post-swimming workout, and I need food immediately, and then I need to be sleepy show. Oops, I moved the fabric a little bit here. I think we're still together. I'm going to just cut till I can't on the edge of this anymore, and then we'll count our strips. But we're going to need tons. I think I'm going to stack them like groups of 5 or something, so I can keep track and not have to count a bajillion times. Yep, The Repair Show. That's it. Oh no, not the show. The Repair Shop. Sorry, it's called The Repair Shop, not The Repair Show. The Repair Shop. And they're in like this cool old barn. I like it. Oops. Got a little nick in here again. There we go. Just one little bit is not coming through. Yeah, we're going to be cutting here for a while yet. Hopefully we don't have a whole nother week of cutting. But again, this is a big part of the process. And the fact that we're getting it all done right from the get-go, which, again, I don't always do, but it's going to make the rest of the process so smooth and easy, and it's all the fun stuff that we'll do all at once. So we're getting the grueling stuff done at the beginning here, at least for me. I know some people like the cutting. But I think I'm going to move the fabric after this one, so we'll see how many we got cut. My husband's been watching some old TV on Netflix or something recently. He was sitting on the couch the other day, and he just out of nowhere said, "Cheers is filmed before a live studio audience." Oh God, I just started laughing. 4, 5. Okay, so I'm gonna make this in stacks of 5. So here's 4, so I'm going to cut 1 more, and then we'll have 2 stacks of 5, so we're not even a third through these strips. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're going to be here for a little while. Bev, I did put the jean quilt on the bed. It's working great so far. So I did wash the jean quilt. So the jean quilt is the quilt that I've been working on for 9 years. And I finally got done last week here on the show and on the Facebook Live here. And I gave it a wash this weekend, and it totally worked. It totally worked. I gotta cut one more here to add to that pile. And it worked in the sense that it fit in the washing machine. It's a large queen, but it's all made out of tiny, tiny little bits of jeans. So it's hefty. It's heavy. It's got some bulk. So I was a little worried about our washing machine not being able to handle it. But it did just fine. I did have to do several rounds in the dryer. Just because it was so bulky that it would kind of dry the outside, and then the parts that were twisted up didn't get dry, so I'd have to keep kind of rejiggering it a little bit and drying it again just to get it dry. But it totally worked, and all of the little black ties, I tied this quilt together with some wool yarn, and all those little ties did do the thing right away. They balled up into little balls of yarn, so they don't look anything like ties anymore. They look like little balls, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen, and I think it just looks so great. I haven't taken a photo of it yet, mainly because I don't have a great place in my house here to take a photo to lay out something that big. But next time I head to my parents' house, I will definitely bring it home so I can get a nice photo. And then I think I should start a Pinterest page or something, like a Pinterest page of 2020 finishes, or just finishes and project finishes in general. Might be nice. Just start a running tally of things that we finish here. Because, in 2 weeks, we'll be working on that mandala love embroidery. So that'll get done relatively quickly. It's actually a lot going on in the embroidery, so I'm hoping we'll get it done within the week. We should be able to. But I'll have to take a photo of that. Oh, and you guys, keep an eye on your emails tomorrow morning. In theory, I could take a pic of my bed with the bedspread on, but there is like no light whatsoever in the bedroom. Like, it is the worst. It's just so dark and kind of dreary. That would be a room to work up for sure. And it's all like wood paneling. It's kind of crazy, but it's just too dark really to take a decent photo. So I'm just gonna wait till I can take a nice photo in the nice bright sunlight at my parents' house. Oh yes, so the mandala love. So all the bundles are sent out. So we sold out of our mandala love tea towel bundles that we'll be stitching 2 weeks from now. Well, not next week, but the week after. Those all sold out like by the beginning of day 3, which was a bit of a surprise. So what's up on the website now is to pre-order it. I relisted it. I ordered some more supplies for it and relisted. I should get those supplies between the 13th and 17th, I'm hoping. Hopefully they ship a bit faster. We'll see. But I will, right when I get all the supplies, I will get those bundles done and sent out. So They might not be here right at the beginning of when we start stitching them, but hopefully before the end. So be sure to try and grab one of those yet. There are a limited amount of those as well. And then this pattern goes away at the end of the month too. I think I'm going to just slide this over. I took 5 off. I think I'm going to slide over this next bit right away because I don't think I'll get the 5 here. Can you hold up the jean quilt outside on a snowy background? In theory, Carla, except for it is so heavy. Like, my husband would have to hold it up, and first of all, he's pretty tall and has a big, long wingspan, but I don't think it's that big. And it is so heavy. Like, we'd have to drape it on something. I don't know. Hopefully I'll just go to my parents' house soon, and we'll take a nice photo there. I might, maybe I'll bring it down here again when it's sunny out, and I'll try and take a photo of at least of the little ties so you can see where how the ties turned out. That they change from little ties to like those little balls, and I just love that. I think that's what I think of when I think of a tied quilt. Or the little felted balls on it. Oh, Sylvia. So, okay, if you guys bought a bundle, you should also have gotten the PDF pattern, and that has the instructions and the colors and everything in it. So check your emails. It may be in the spam folder. If you bought a bundle and you didn't get the PDF pattern, yeah, first check your spam folder. But if you can't find it, be sure to email me because you were supposed to get it all happens digitally instantly in theory. But if you can't find it in your email, because I know emails can be dumb butts sometime, just email me and we'll figure it out. But yes, if you bought a bundle, you should have it, and that should have the colors and where they go and the guide and all that in there, and what stitches to use. We'll be using that as our reference when we start stitching. But yeah, that was part of the bundle, is that you got the PDF pattern as well. Oh, but what I was going to say is I will have an email going out tomorrow morning, so be sure to check that. It is all about this koala fundraiser that we'll be doing. So stay tuned for that. And it also involves a little stitch along, and I'm excited for that. So soon we'll be embroidering up that our koala pattern as well. Actually, I think right after the mandala loaf. So we're going to stitch the mandala, and then we'll stitch the koala. That's going to be fun. Yep, so check that email tomorrow morning. All right, this is for... Suppose when you have people to chit-chat with, this isn't so bad. If I was here by myself and just like cutting and cutting and cutting, oh my gosh, I think I'd go nuts. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, Sylvia, I mean, if you are having trouble, like you can't see the PDF on your phone or something, we will be going over the whole thing during the stitch along, so if you're following along with the stitch along, you'll know what color goes where from that. But yeah, if you're able to see the pattern somehow, that'd be best. Then you can do it on your own time and zoom in and all that. Okay, so we're up to 20. I got 4 sets of 5 over here. Oh, goodness. Let's see if we can
get the rest of these cut tonight at least. We need 15 more. Gosh, when I do stuff like this, I do think maybe we will run out of fabric, but hopefully not. I suppose I could have kind of counted how many yards are on here. I think if you have a bolt of fabric, each, like, you can count like 2 folds on one side equals like a yard till the center. So let's just count. So that's about 1 yard, 2 yards. So I have about 3 yards here. And then this is maybe a yard. So about 4 yards. How much do we need? I think we needed like 5 1/3 yard. We're going to be on the edge. We're going to be on the edge. Because I'm not sure we've cut, maybe we've cut a yard already. We're going to be playing chicken again with fabric. But that's great. That means I'm using up fabric from my stash. I am trying to use up a lot of that. I'm trying not to buy new stuff. I got so much fabric. We can figure out a quilt out of it. I probably don't need to buy new stuff. Unless I'm looking for something like super specific. Like Christmas, for example. I don't think I really have any Christmas fabric. But even so, I bet you out of the fabric I have, I could find enough like greens and reds or blues and whites or whatever to do a Christmas quilt. So, I don't know. I'd like to think that with any parameter, I'm hoping I could find stuff in my stash, so I'm just trying to use it all up. Okay. And I'm sure other people are way faster at this cutting than me. Like once you get in the groove or something, but I don't know. This part freaks me out the most. I'm always lining up my rulers. I'm always cutting slowly. But that's how it goes. Me taking all the time to cut this stuff, that'll give you guys time to catch up if you don't have your fabric yet. And also, we'll be stopping this project at the end of the week. We'll be moving on to another project, so we'll start this up again the first full week of next month. Ooh, this is going to be so weird. I haven't done that before where I've split projects up that much, so it is going to feel a little weird to set this aside basically for a month and then pick it up again. It's going to feel fresh every single time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll have to see. This is a different way for me to be working on projects for sure. We're giving it a go. Usually I get excited about something and then I'll just start working on it and I'll kind of fizzle out at about 80% when I'm 80% done, and then it'll take me forever to finish it after that, which is not a good thing. Or I'll just work on something, until I just want to work on something else, basically. But now with this structure, in theory, hopefully we really can stick to this, and hopefully our projects just get done. That'd be cool. They'll be spread out versus us just finishing something all at once. But we'll be doing like 3 or 4 projects at once and moving the dial on all of those. Oh, that's true. Sylvia, I was actually thinking about that right before I came on, because my area here is already a crazy mess from this project, and we haven't hardly even done anything yet, right? So I am a little bit worried about having to reset my space every time too, but I think maybe that'll just get me to keep things more organized. Like, how we're putting these in bags. I think that'll just help. I'll have to find like a little box or some other bag or receptacle of some sort that this project can live in with all the like inside plastic bags and stuff. Then it'll just be here and ready to go. Gosh dang it. Come over there. little snag in there. I don't like when that happens. Yeah, I think it'll just keep me a little bit more organized, a little cleaner. Luckily, you know, I'm working in the same space, so I can leave all my tools here because we'll use those for different projects. If I was working in like lots of different spaces, then I would probably keep certain tools with the project if I had enough. Let's see if I can get 2 more out of here without moving stuff. And I still need 5 more. Whew. We'll go a hair over tonight just so I can get these 5. So luckily I can leave all these out tonight because our week isn't over yet. So tomorrow we will cross cut all these. And then from the scraps, we'll start to get some of the smaller pieces that we need. And we have the scraps from our 2-inch strips as well that we can cut up. But it would be nice to use up the scraps versus cutting new fabric as much as we can. There are some bigger cuts that we're going to need to, like I think 10-inch cuts or something that we'll need to cut strips again, but not all of them. Right, here's the last one. Oh, wait, no, we need 36. Dang it. I need 1 more here. So I'm going to have to scooch this down. We need 36, 35-inch strips. That was the deal. That was where the 35 came in. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, wait. Shoot, I think we need 6 more. I thought we only need 5 more. Let's do that count again. All right, here's all my stacks over here. I'm going to turn them into stacks of 10 here really quick, so just so I have more space. So that's 10, 20. Oh, this is just 30, so I do need 6 more. 30. All right, let's do it. 6 more. Oh, she had her pieces in all different compartments of boxes. Yeah. I'm not that fancy. That sounds amazing, though. I'm just laying that fold on the bottom here again. I'm not so worried about it being lined up at the edge because I'm using the rulers. All right, 6 more here. We can do it. Yeah, then cross-cutting is so much more fun, and I think, than these long strips. I'm always afraid that the ruler's going to move in the middle of it, or I'm going to measure something wrong, or whatever with these strips. But cross-cutting, I don't mind that. That's true. Maybe it'll help me not get bored by changing the projects up all the time. I am kind of hoping for that. I don't think I really get bored. It's more just, gosh, it's not even burnt out. It's a little bit of that. A little bit burnt out from projects, I suppose. But just a little time away always kind of revamps it. Like, I'm excited to start working on the Splendid Sampler 2 again next week. That'll be fun to get that going. I want that to cruise along this year. That's got to get done. Thanks, Nolene. It's happening. It's, again, I completely did not estimate right how long this is going to take. But it feels good to have all these strips as far as they are. Okay, that's 3. 3 more. 3 more, and then we can stop for the evening. I can shush this bolt out of the way. And we can just cross-cut these guys. Barbara, you're look forward to the splendid sampler too again as well. That's awesome. If you have a block that you want me to work on, because we're kind of starting from scratch again on blocks. I mean, I have stuff to quilt. I have blocks to make. So if there's a block that we haven't made yet that you want me to work on, let me know. We could do that one next. I should really actually go through everything that we have done. I've been crossing off the blocks as I finish them, but I've been pretty lax at doing that, so I should go through them all and cross off the finished ones. Otherwise, I'll make one twice or something, and that would be the worst. Oh, Leah, you're working on a granny square crocheted Afghan right now? Oh, that is amazing. I kind of want to do that when we're done with this project, whatever that might be. When we're done with the Granny Squares quilt, I would love to do a crocheted Granny Squares Afghan here. And I think if you haven't crocheted before, I think you would be able to do it. Like, we would go through the process the whole way. So I think you'd be able to learn how to crochet and make granny square blocks at the same time. I think we could do that. I think that would be awesome. Oh, post it in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. And if you're not a member of that, just hit join and I'll let you in. All right, that's it. That is our 36. So I shushed that fabric out of here. I think that'd be fun. You know, actually, that might be a fun thing if we get going on this project and we need like a little break. One of our weeks, we could just learn how to do a granny square, crochet a granny square. That'd be fun. That'd be kind of a neat idea. So as we get going, once we're in the middle of making all these blocks, because we have like 25 of these blocks to make or something, or maybe even more. I think way more than that actually. So we're gonna have tons of blocks to make, and it would be awesome to take a mini break for one of the weeks just to learn how to do a granny square crochet. And I don't think that would take more than a week, for sure. So within that week, you'll have learned how to crochet and make a granny square, and then you just keep making them. Because with a granny square quilt, you just make a pile of squares, and then afterwards you crochet them all together. So you could just make as many squares as you want. So if we have a little lesson in that, then maybe you can make those, and we'll have that going at the same time as this. That would be kind of fun. So we'll get done cutting. We'll get some of these blocks made, and then we'll do that. But I think that'd be a fun project to kind of do in the middle. All right. Oh, that took forever, but that is, I can't even cross it out yet, but that is our 36, 35-inch strips. That's the part we haven't done yet. We have to cross-cut these to 35 inches, because right now they're 42 inches, so we need to lop a bit off of this. So that will be first thing tomorrow. We'll be making these into 35 inches, and then we got 2 more deals to do. We need 60 10-inch strips. Whew, that's a lot. And we need 148 squares, and I have a suspicion of where those go. I'm not positive, but I think, we got all these edges. Oh, that might be a strip still. Huh. Oh, you know where they might go? All of them might go in the border. I'm not positive, but they may be in our border. I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose, where all our tiny little pieces go, all of our little squares. But awesome, you guys. I am going to flip you around, and we will call it an evening. We got part 1 of all those strips cut. There, hello again, everyone. So thank you so much for joining me here again tonight. I think this is just going to be such a fun quilt. Here again, Granny Squares quilt. Oh, and then to have a matching Afghan, it would be so fun. Okay, I really like that. That we might do the crocheted version of this too along the way. I think that'll be really, really fun. So awesome. So I will get this up on Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube if you wanted to watch the replay there. I will have all of this project there as well. So if you ever want to jump back to any of the other parts of it, like when we chose colors, if you need help choosing your colors, then it will be there. And I will see you guys tomorrow then. Keep your eyes out for an email tomorrow morning. Have a great evening. Good night.